Never gone.
You wouldn't have it.
Yeah, you guys watch those clubs around each other.
You have to get, why don't you all work together as a really great team?
You're going down.
Is that my share lemonade?
Come with these things, once you're drinking them, it's like...
Yeah, they are like lemonade.
Yeah.
Hey, cranberry and how much is it?
Actually, you can make the, I know, big house.
It's a big house and it has
Come on, Alex, just do your
a hot tub and it has
finish with it.
propane.
Yeah, I saw that on this.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house. That's where we found it actually.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's neat. So your food.
Very.
How long did you get here?
Upstairs there's two bedrooms upstairs. One's king size, one's downstairs. It's a king and another one. And then there's a whole other area that is
What's your
I can get it out whatever you want me to do. What?
My mom said that.
Just another feather.
You gotta work with your partner. Hold on to her. Hold on to her. Don't, yeah, hold on to her. You can't like this.
My legs only can go that far. Do you want to do it? The bird got dead. Oh, she did. Okay. I can already get in. Oh, you can do it.
Okay, you guys organize this. Becky looks like she needs a partner. And Alex is around. And Billy, are you going in that three-legged thing? Okay. Are you ready? Get ready. Okay, Becky, come stand over here with me. Come and help me with the prizes, okay? So, Joy's gonna say go, and you guys are gonna run together. Hold on to each other. Allie, hold on to Mara. Okay? Hold on to each other, and you're gonna go across the blue line, okay? Okay, Becky? You're gonna come up here with me, and we're gonna give out the prizes at the very end, okay? You're gonna help me pin on the ribbons.
You lucky girl.
Trey, ready? Okay, sit here with me. Okay, ready? On your mark. Get set. Go! Hold on to me. Good for you guys. Okay, Meryl and Allie, good for you. Go. Keep going. Okay, pick the prize. Okay, just stand over there. Okay, Meryl. Hold on to each other.
Look at the Gary knows a bit of it. He'll help you.
Let's go, girls. This is about the only part I know.
Okay. I guess we need the music. What is it?
You want the rest of this beer, honey?
Go stand behind him.
Fun, fun, fun.
have no idea his name. I think his name is Tom. He's been here tonight.
You're done?
17 guys have to be out. No, I haven't got my money like that.
Where's your name? Where's your name on those? What was your money? $1.
Stop walking, British.
They're done, Marsh. They're done, Marsh. They didn't win. Just one for the bear?
Yep. Oh, did you get your 5?
Excuse me.
Go take your 5 and get your money for it. Well, there's some pencils over here.
I want to wait.
Marsh's name on this?
Yeah, if you get a, if you're one of the first draws, you take the color you want.
I'm going to be on 4 on this.
I just won.
I like that brown one. That
These
brown
are killer
one's pretty
bears.
nice. Excuse me, Dad.
They attack you.
Sorry.
No, you would look at loving bear.
This is killer bear.
The odds were better for you in this race.
See all these wonderful gifts.
Yes.
I don't get to get on this.
Hello, Uncle Tom. Haven't you, darling?
That's your precious.
Those are my precious. So I said you guys should play up here, and of course you're playing here. We need my drink. Here you go. Even the groom? The groom is, well actually I've got to make a phone call to him, he's probably wondering where. They're playing the Nationals.
There isn't a groom at all, and you're just doing this because you want
to make a phone
call. You put your drink down because now you're working.
Oh my gosh, look at this cake.
And Sue, are you going to do the thing from here on in?
And this is from Sean. I'm not going to open this, I'm just going to look at that. Sean is so cool.
Oh, I love it. You stand over here, but just don't get high.
Don't bother going in that perfect blue. That is so cute.
Where's the phone?
Oh my goodness. I hope we don't look like that on our wedding day. Can you imagine? Open it. Should I just, do you want to help me open it? Oh yeah. Oh, we gotta wait for a minute. Debbie's gonna.
Yeah. Sorry. Just wait, honey.
She knows how to cut it.
Yeah.
She knows how to cut it. This is just gorgeous.
Good heavens. Is that a wheelchair? Yes.
Okay. Won't be for long.
Look at me, Baba.
Say something nice. You lucky girl.
his church attire.
Well, I'm not wearing them when I'm golfing. But I'll wear them for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, with the theme being Christmas, we have incorporated some Christmassy ideas. Now, you know that when you think about Christmas, Christmas is a time of thinking about other people, right? At Christmas you think about everybody else in your family and friends. Christmas is a time of sharing. You want to give presents to each other. And it's also a time of getting pleasure from giving to other people. It makes you feel good to give things to other people. So Kathleen and Jan and their whole gang decided that Christmas once a year to celebrate all those good things wasn't enough. And that's why they chose Christmas as the theme for this year. Because that's really what we try to do with our families. We try to share with each other, we try to make other people feel happy, and when we do that, we feel happy ourselves. Now, you know that every year the story that's read at Mass is the story of the little boy with the 5 barley loaves and the 2 fish. And a lot of people came to hear Jesus talk, but they had no food. And so the only person who had any food was the little boy, and all he had was 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus worked a miracle, and there was enough food for everybody. So that boy shared, didn't he? And he made everybody feel happy with his sharing. Now, bells are a sign of celebration, and that's what we're doing. We're celebrating. And we have some hats for you. And hats, these are elf hats, because elves at Christmas show us what helping is all about, because they're Santa's helpers, right? So if you want to wear an elf hat, there's lots of elf hats. And then we want lots of bells rung as we're going up to Mass, because we're celebrating, okay? All right? And the stars that you made last night, you can each carry one. And when we go up there, Uncle Bernie and Uncle Phil will be standing by the tree. Would you give them your star? And they will hang it on the tree before Mass begins. Because the star is the sign of where baby Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And then Jesus, when he grew up, gave the biggest gift of all. He gave his life for us, didn't he? Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Now, you know that my voice is not that hot. But I'm the only singer. So, can we pass out, Kathy, can you pass out some music sheets? And you know that song, This Little Light of Mine? Instead of light, we're going to say star, okay? This little star of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little star of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little star of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So after we've put our stars on the tree, we'll sing that one before Mass. When we're walking up, everybody, can you listen? As we're walking up, we're going to sing, "O Come, All Ye Faithful," because that's a Christmas song. But you know what? I didn't know the right words, so I didn't print it out. So I hope everybody knows how to sing it. We'll sing, "O Come All Ye Faithful," when we go up. We'll sing "This Little Star of Mine" before Mass begins. Okay. Now, Kelly, where are you? For which God did raise Jesus is a Christian, and I'm going there. I'm passing my life. It won't be empty. I'm with the outside. One basket, 2 fishes, and okay, we're going to sing that now. And love is something if you give it away. And then we're going to sing the one with all the kids' names at the very end, okay? All right, so that's the bell. Is anybody going to ring them?
Look at Martin.
Give them a good ring. come all ye faithful, we should sing this little light of mine. It's a bit more oomphy. Okay? Okay, everybody, let's go. Let's go. We're going to give a good shake. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. We're going to sing the first line. First line. Okay. This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. My brothers and my sisters, I'm gonna let them shine. My brothers and my sisters, I'm gonna let them shine. My brothers and my sisters, I'm gonna let them shine, let them shine. Everything on the line, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everything on the line, I'm gonna let it shine. Everything on the line, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, you do everything. Oh, good. John, you got to promise us one thing. When we're on holidays, don't take a picture of the back of Elaine and I. The front is even bad.
How did you do that?
Check the hat out though. Check this hat.
He said I can put it on.
This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Now you're total
This little star of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Awkward now.
Good.
If someone could be at the back of the chair for a minute.
Just to stabilize it?
Yeah.
So Mark?
Okay, we could, yeah.
Okay, now, so Carl's just arrived.
Okay.
So you're gonna be talking. So I'll take a picture from that side so I can see you in there.
You start off. We'll get to our best. You start off.
All right. We're going to sing this little light of mine. We're going to sing it one more time. We'll go all the way through it, okay?
Holy Spirit be with you all. A year has passed since we last gathered together for the beautiful celebration of the Eucharist here in Sooke. So we take this opportunity to thank God for all the many graces and blessings of the last year. We offer a special prayer for those who are not with us, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our aunts, all those who have been called to glory. We ask God to grant them eternal rest, and we ask God to bless us all during the coming year. So in acknowledging our failings, asking God.
First reading is from Isaiah. The Lord says this, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and you that have no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me, and eat what is good.
And feed us, Lord, and answer all our needs.
The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all, and his compassion is over all that he has made. You open your hand and feed us, Lord. You answer all our needs. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food in due season. You open your hand, satisfying the desire of every living thing. You open your hand to feed us, Lord. You answer all our needs. The Lord is just in all his ways, and kind in all his doings. The Lord is near to all who call on him, and to all who call on him in truth. You open your hand to feed us, Lord. You answer all our needs.
The second reading. Who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will hardship or distress, or persecution or famine or nakedness, or peril or sword? No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor rulers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Lord be with you.
And also with you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When it was evening, the disciples came to Jesus and said to him, this is a deserted place. The hour is now late. Send the crowds away so they can get something to eat. Jesus said to them, they need not go away. You give them something to eat. They replied, we have nothing but 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he said, bring the loaves and the fish to me. Then Jesus ordered the crowd to be seated. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and he blessed them and he broke the loaves and he gave them to the disciples and the disciples gave them to the crowd. All 8 were filled. They took what was left over of the broken pieces, 12 baskets full. And those who were about 5,000 men, women, and children. The gospel of the Lord.
Well, we talked about this when we were down getting ready to gather, just to kind of set the spirit of what we were about to experience. And this year the theme is Christmas, and Kathleen and her gang, I'm sure, didn't choose it lightly, because Christmas has in it all of the qualities that we want to share and experience in our own families. And we know that Christmas is a time of thinking of other people. It's a time of sharing, for sure. But we also know that in the sharing, when you share, you also get something back. And what you get back is that wonderful feeling that receiving gifts doesn't quite give you. It's the giving that lasts. In the reading, and because we have this weekend at the same time of the year, the readings are always the same. But it's very apropos because it's a reading about the little boy who is there with the 5,000 people to hear what Jesus has to say. And he's the only one with any food. And of course people are getting hungry and they're probably quite a ways from home. So they find this little boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. And Jesus said, bring them to me. And when they have, as they pass out the food, there is enough for all the people and plenty left over. So we know that that little boy in his sharing gifted everybody and was blessed himself. Now in our celebration today, the bales represent celebration, which is what we do when we gather, and especially as we join in the celebration of Mass. And the hats represent those dear little elves that we know of at Christmas, who epitomize that the whole sense of working for other people, so that you give happiness to other people. And we know that the star that we have put on the tree represents the presence of Jesus, because it showed where he was born, in the stable in Bethlehem. And we know that Jesus gave the greatest gift of all, and he gave his life for us. So it has been a beautiful theme. It is rich, and we want to think about it, not just at Christmas, but all year. This is a wonderful time.
To you. Love is like those loaves and fishes. Hold it back and you won't have any. Give it away and it multiplies and grows and comes right back to you. Love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Love is something if you give it away. It comes right back to you.
Huh? Where's it going? Put it there. Thank you. You're doing the kids.
Yeah, put them on the other side. Okay.
Because you're a relative.
Okay, you
want to be first.
I'm the youngest. Start the Yeah. Okay, start at that end.
Can you give me that? No. No way, because, no, let's put her down. She's getting way too
Okay, well, we're
Go to the story, John.
Honey? Honey Claire, any big spoons for the last salad? I thought because I just needed for, I only have a set for this one, so I didn't have that.
Here, I brought this. If anybody wants it, they can. Welcome to it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Welcome everybody. Hope you all had an enjoyable weekend. As usual, we'd like to start you off with a few little interesting observations from the weekend, a few little notes, a few little jots on paper that the super spy Kathleen has managed to glean from eavesdropping in all of your conversations. So first for the weekend, first item up for news is Family Weekend Organizer in Training. Catherine reports that every year her daughter Suzanne spends weeks drawing out an agenda for the family weekend. Suzanne says she's made the time for all the important things she has to do, including horse racing, eating, beach activities, face painting, and 40 different water sports and games. She's a junior Martha Stewart, Kathy exclaimed. After she's done all the planning and arranging, she makes sure she's coordinated her sister Allie and cousins Stephanie and Kelly to take care of the follow-through. I told Suzanne that when she gets older, she can charge people for organizing events for them. Suzanne could hardly believe it, and thought it might be a good idea for Auntie Carolyn to postpone her wedding for a couple of weeks until she had a chance to get business cards printed.
Kathy Moran, flush with success. I've been reborn, Kathy proclaimed Sunday morning. Honestly, I can't remember a time when I felt so liberated. Family members agreed that the Mass celebration is a special time for getting in touch with your spiritual self. Kathy said that was true, but she was talking about a different kind of release. I went over to Phil and Bernie's cabin, clutching a couple of sheets of newspaper for bathroom tissue, and begged to use the flush toilet. I hoped I looked so bound up that they couldn't turn me away. And I was right.
Family campsite scene of car hijacking. Roland Mickler was distressed to return from golf Sunday afternoon to discover his Corvette had been stolen. I can't believe it. Dozens of RCs and one of them a thief. Shauna finally confessed, saying that they needed to move the car and to accommodate the barbecue, and just got so carried away with the luxury that she couldn't resist driving it around a bit. Besides, I wouldn't make much of a car thief, she blushed. When I finally parked it, I couldn't figure out how to open the door and almost had to climb out the window.
Martha Stewart seeks advice from local crafters. Martha Stewart has announced that her 1999 Christmas special will be devoted to displaying the unique talents of the Hanley cousins. I'll be featuring Jeanne Vezina making gift boxes out of old Christmas cards, Chris Lynch on the innovative use of summer themes in Christmas door decorations, and Joy Kroll on making 50 elf hats out of 1 yard of stretch knit. There'll be excitement galore, Martha promises. Few people recognize the importance of getting the curling ribbon to exactly match the pattern on the card when you're making the gift boxes, but Jan will take you through the process step by step. The highlight of the program will be a horticultural segment on the best place to find a Christmas tree in the middle of summer and the techniques needed to keep it alive in the heat. Important questions concerning the unusual pastime will be answered by Shauna McCauley and Debbie Province, including, are shorts and sandals appropriate attire for my tree hunting excursion? And how deep are the roots likely to be? And will a camp shovel and hatchet be enough to dig one up? Concluding the special will be first aid tips on treating blisters caused by the overuse of scissors and cleaning hints on how to get spray paint and felt marker stains out of your clothes.
Father Bernie on the go. I don't know what happened, an astonished Father Bernie told family members this weekend. I took my Mercedes in for a tune-up Thursday, and before you could say quality pre-owned vehicle, the dealership had gone and sold it out from under me. It was only 25 years old with thousands of kilometers left on it. I was chuffed, I can tell you. I gave them what I thought was a piece of my mind, but by the time I had finished, I discovered I actually had bought a 1998 Buick. I'm not really that upset, though, because I'm worth it. My only consideration now is how to pay for it. I'm thinking of running a shuttle service between the big cabin and the beachfront at $1 a head, if anybody's interested.
Monsignor Phil cleans up. I should retire more often, Monsignor Phil was heard to remark more than once this weekend. Retirement gifts, housewarming parties, we'll miss you presents, farewell remembrances. I've collected enough stuff to open a branch of the St. Vincent de Paul in my spare room. Of course, being without a housekeeper for the first time in 40 years will be a challenge. But I know I'll be able to rely on Mary for guidance with the dusting, Marg for advice on the laundry, and Elaine and Bev for help in the kitchen. Elaine says that won't be a problem. She's already amassed a drawer full of empty margarine tubs. She figures the easiest way to introduce Phil to the joys of cooking is to invite him for Sunday dinner and then load him up with a week's worth of leftovers. Phil went on to say that he wished Marg had been around on Friday to have that chat about the laundry. No one told me how important it was to check your pockets before starting the wash. It was only halfway through the second rinse cycle that I remembered that I'd left my wallet in my tan slacks. Fortunately, no harm was done. I even think the experience did the bills some good. After a quick spin in the dryer, they came out looking crisp as new.
Carolyn Caron honored at Saturday night shower. In an attempt to be at the forefront of new trends, the Hanley ladies hosted an everybody welcome bridal shower for Carolyn late Saturday night, which featured a by candlelight theme. Although there were a few disruptions from the men chanting, "When do we get to cut the cake?" the evening generally was full of the warmest wishes for Carolyn's upcoming marriage. Carolyn said that everything looked so good in the dark, she was sure she would be overwhelmed when she actually got out there in the light to see what it was that she had received. She also apologized ahead of time for any errors that might be made in writing up the thank you cards. Suzanne had to make her notes of who gave what in the pitch black, and I'm having a little trouble deciphering her handwriting.
Sooke Playground hosts Grudge Match of the Century. After a 19-year hiatus, Tom Slater and Jim Lynch squared off in a game billed as deciding once and for all supremacy on the baseball diamond. However, what started as a contest between two cousins soon degenerated into a rivalry between fathers and sons. I knew it was a mistake to have my son Phil on my team, Tom Slater ranted. The kid plays rugby, for Christ's sakes. What does he know about a game where the idea is to make sure the ball goes where no one else can catch it? He kept saying, "Give me a gift." But really, I don't know how much softer I could have thrown the ball. He still wouldn't have been able to hit it out of the infield. Similar complaints were heard on the Lynch side, as Jim Lynch vented some of his frustration. "Mark spin too much into the daiquiris and beers," he shouted, after Mark missed an easy pop-up fly. His coordination's completely shot. Wayne was no better, letting himself be tagged out at second after his failed attempt at a slide. Hell, he's so tall, he should have been able to fall over on his second base without even leaving first. And right, he was the worst. I almost couldn't stand to look at him. He struck out 3 times. Thank heaven he had some decent fielding skills, or I would have disowned him. There were comments. This is all true. There were comments too from other Lynch team members who said that Tom Slater was cheating by wearing a complete Santa suit out on the field. "Just looking at him made the sweat run down into my eyes," Glenn remarked. Despite these unorthodox tactics and a startling amount of miscommunication among players of both teams, the game ended in a tie. Since nothing has been resolved, it's assumed that a rematch will have to be scheduled for next summer.
Gail Eaklin proclaims, "My husband treats me like a piece of expletive deleted." Gail says that Stan really knows how to take advantage of her. Stan got me up first thing Saturday morning to make sure we got an early start for the Hanley reunion. I'd already done all the packing and was carrying the stuff out to the car when I noticed that Stan had buggered off. I had to do everything myself, an exasperated Gail lamented. He eventually returned just as I'd finished. He told me he'd been out watering his trees. "Hey now, that's hard work," Stan retorted. "You try swinging a hose back and forth for 3 hours and see what that does to your wrists and shoulders." Besides, I have every intention of making up for it this morning by helping her unload. But by the time I finished chatting with everyone, she'd already got the job done.
And that's the news for this year. You think I make this up? Well, the first thing is welcome to our 24th annual reunion, and as Linda pointed out, it's the last reunion of this millennium, and we had a wonderful turnout. Thank you, everyone. And remember that next year, the year 2000, is our 25th, and let's try to get 100 people out for our centennial celebration. We had 86 people for dinner yesterday, and we haven't counted them today, so that's just great. The more, the merrier. So first off, we also want to take time. We were very pleased. We were a little bit apprehensive about the Christmas dinner. You know, I mean, making 30 pounds of mashed potatoes, and by the way, there's not enough potatoes left over to feed 2 starving somethings, which proves how truly Irish we are. We can go through all of those potatoes. And thanks ever so much to everyone that contributed, and especially to Chuck, who also spends his afternoon all the time. So first off, we have a couple of sports prizes, and we had thought, you know, with the judgment of the picture, we really get down to get a couple of baseball caps. We'd write down, you know, winner and loser and really rub it in. But since it ended in a draw, we just have the hats and left them blank. You have to, you know, you can either write your own names in or bring them back next year. Tom and Jim.
Of course, Gail. Gail.
Thank you. You're right, loser on yours, buddy.
You told me you wouldn't do that.
Later.
And when I write up these invitations, I don't realize how people take them so literally. It was a long weekend in August, and in every house, each one of the families scurried round like a mouse. The adults packed groceries and posing with care, for the yearly reunion soon would be there. Etc., etc., etc. While Bob emptied the trunk, I exchanged a few words with Shauna and Glenn, the 2 early birds, and by God, Shauna was here at the crack of dawn to make sure that she won the early bird prize. I'm not ready to pass it on. Just try to beat me. So a highlight is always the golf game. Ever since we started golf, I think it was in year 6 we started the golf tournament, and we had 26 people playing. But we also have golfers in training, and Kathy and Joy took a bunch of them out to mini golf. And we've discovered who will be the golfers and who will not be the golfers. A bunch of them got tired after the second hole and said, we'd rather go swimming. But that's okay. But 4 of them kind of finished, so we're going to award a prize to Leah and to Suzanne and William and Samantha, who actually finished their mini golf round, just to encourage them that, you know. I need another flower. Excuse me. I've got yours.
How you doing?
So remember, you know. Now for the older people's golf. Now again, you know, participation is the key. You don't have to be the best at anything. You just have to get out there and try. And we, you know, we had a first-time golfer. She's only 12, but she did quite well. And her Uncle Brian has christened her the Diva of Divots. Sounds quite impressive. But hey, come on, Lisa. Good try. Would you go again? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
She wrote it us.
We don't have enough ladies that play to really make a lot of categories. So we're not going to give a high score and a low score. But does this ring a bell? Where's my purse? Where's my purse? I forgot my purse. I got my sweater dirty.
She can lose her person.
Hello, hello. Where am I, Suzanne?
Auntie Susan! Auntie Susan! Auntie Susan!
We never lost her purse once, but golf with Martin, so I mentioned to Martin that I thought, gee, that showed an awful lot of guts golfing with her. Well, we had a couple of men that had high scores, and Alice very kindly gave us a book that I think will be quite appropriate. We had a couple of ones, so we had two high scores, Brian and Mike Province. And remember, Mike
It's my finale. Do this. Do this. So I just walked here. Ooh, one more. You can have it back.
We had a tie for low score.
So
Tom
it's going to
Slater
take
and
1
Mike.
minute.
Oh my God.
Thank you again.
And we had one hit score, and that went to Stan. Stan is for...
What's that one for?
It's for having your handicap match your age. What, 64? Did you say that? 62. 48. I meant his score matched his age. 48. It's an absolute.
I'm just not sure that I deserve it. I think I need something. I should have something better.
Anyway.
There's nothing in this. What happened to all my prizes? What happened to all my prizes? What's that?
Oh! Legs. Who could it be? Oh my God. Who is it?
Where's Ben?
Isn't that great?
Who is it?
I have no idea.
Bob Carter.
Oh, is it?
Bob Carter.
His bare legs. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the summer outfit.
That's clever, isn't
The
it?
kids just...
Eh?
Gail, get it again. Take a picture. He gets closer.
Yeah, Stan, I'm going to get my camera. Do you want to take a picture of that? I'll put it onto the setting. Here, I'll put it on right there. There it is. Push that button. That's all you got to do.
Where's the viewfinder? Can't see. Can't see. I don't know if I got a picture or not. Where the hell do you look?
What's there? Oh, I couldn't see out of it. Hold on. Okay, I'll push it now. Push it now. Okay. Okay, I got it. That's good. Okay.
I got one sort of halfway through.
Okay.
Igloo cooler.
From the North Pole. Okay.
Have another glass.
I've got some presents for you, little ones. You just come up when your name is called. When your name is called.
Where's your pants, Santa?
Brand new baby coming
There he is. It's for you, Darian.
That's a little guy. He was running around here this morning barefoot. He was so funny.
Right over there.
Oh, sorry.
Rebecca! Rebecca! Here's a present for you. Okay.
Look at his legs.
Santa, you should wear pants.
Ellie! Ellie!
Oh, look at it. Oh, isn't she sweet?
Good girl. I know you like to dance. You dance a lot. You dance for mommy and daddy. Let's have a dance. And your presents. Bye-bye. We're being very selective.
I mean, you couldn't have picked a better deal.
No. Paige!
But especially pair of legs. You really get her pants off.
That's the summer of
Look at the fluffy stuff around her. I mean, it's disgusting. This is disgusting. It's only because it's Kathleen's husband it's allowed.
Nobody else would do it.
Kate!
Kate!
This is for the cameras. No? You like to sing, don't you? You sing a lot with your sister. And a girl. With your sister. Kate, you have this, and we have this.
No, look at it. You gotta get. Take a picture.
Play on your swing set, don't you? You like to pick this candy too?
Look at those kids. Look at the kids, John. Look at how neat they are.
Sleepy little Merrill. Stephanie!
get up. It wasn't you.
William! Suzanne! Don't forget, somebody take Suzanne's picture. She asked me up on the hill.
Should be gone by the time you get it organized.
No.
Yeah. Maybe what you can do is get it set up for Kelly. What I'll do, I'll just put it into. Okay. So
For Kelly?
Yeah.
Alex Macaulay. Alex Macaulay. Play ball? On a ball team? I know you do. I'll be back at Christmas. Drew! Where is Drew?
He's almost good.
Drew is from Topino. There you go, Drew. Merry Christmas. There you go. Kelly!
Okay, okay, you use them. That's it.
I got it.
That's great.
Kelly's going to sing us a song later on.
Kid wants to bring back a reject.
Presley.
He wants to return the truck. He wants to return the truck. He's not that happy with it. Alex! Oh, I'm going to do Alex. I'll do Alex.
Okay, Alex.
That was a good picture of
Yeah.
there you
Hey, Taylor, help. Taylor.
Jordan. Leah.
Very official, that kid.
Leah. Okay, we have a soft package here for little baby Maggie. Newest member of the tribe.
Oh!
So I'll give Mom my kiss. Let's take a look at her.
There she is.
There she is. Okay, Maggie. Sean. Mike Turner.
You want him? You want him? No, okay.
The thing is that.
Ken Bessemer?
Okay, now Stan, just use that to go up, you know, to get, so you're not getting too far back.
What?
You know, just move that up.
Andy.
Okay. Get that one of Andrew.
Oh, I gotta get that. I got Andy.
Okay.
Goodness. Lisa. Lisa. Matthew Bird.
I got it close up.
Oh, that was clever.
Good for you, Matthew.
Good one.
Remembers everybody. Joy.
Joy. Come on, Joy.
How many pictures you got of here?
24.
I'm at 15.
I got another roll.
Okay. Yoki! Tell me what you want for Christmas, Yoki. Well, here's a little sample of what's to come.
Do I guess what's inside this?
It's an intimate apparel. Rolling!
Rolling! I'll give you.
Yeah, get that.
Laura! Laura, what do you want for Christmas? Something nice, expensive? Well, here's a sample inside here. My favorite pet. Where is that? Taylor and Shield. It's you, Taylor. Yeah, Bevel. I've waited all year for this.
Oh, Santa!
Well, I got a little surprise. My little elf stuff.
Thank you, Santa.
Okay. Paul. Paul. Merry Christmas, Paul. No last time for you. Gail.
Which Gail? That Gail?
You gotta tell me what you want for Christmas and say it out loud in that direction. What would you like for Christmas?
You said.
I'll be there. I'll be there. What the hell? Father Bernie. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kevin. Kevin. There you go, Kevin. Nice to meet you. That's a Frenchman this time, eh? Debbie T. Debbie T. Debbie Turner. Uh-oh. Oh. What would you like? No one's surprised.
Got Dipper.
You too?
No.
This is a good time to lobby for something.
A new kitchen.
A new kitchen. Here's a starter. Merry Christmas. Daniel. Danny. Danielle Moran. That would be me.
You have a lot of trouble with those French Canadian
Speak up, Japanese.
Oh, here.
Been a good girl?
You were supposed to be up there earlier.
Vander Van Dien. Phil. One arm, Phil.
Daddy's gonna sit on the lap.
Thank you, Santa. Thank you. Elaine. Hands on the waist. Barry. Barry Carter. Barry Carter. Good, looking good. Chris. Chris.
Am I blocking you here?
Where's your roll of film? I'm at 22.
Go! Go! Merry Christmas, Will. Martin! Martin!
Martin!
We're half through. I've got to speed this up a little bit. Martin! Carolyn!
I wish I had legs like you, Santa.
No, you don't. Take a close look.
Okay.
Ah, Karen. Good girl?
A little bit.
Sometimes. Well, you're going to
What do you think you'll get? 27?
25, baby.
We got 25.
You'll hear it rewind itself.
Mike Provence! We'll work on that, Karen. It's not my inventory.
Dom, do you need
Mike
more film?
Provence.
No, I get some.
Vicky! Rob!
That's it. Let's rewind it.
Uncle Dominic.
Is it winding back?
Yeah, it's winding back.
Okay, well then here's what you do. Stand. Take it out of the case.
Monsignor Phil!
Oh! Slow down. Slow down till I get the new film. Wait a minute.
There you go, Phil.
Wait a minute. We got to do Monsignor film again.
No, it'll take too long, so.
Okay, we'll do this. We'll come back and.
All right. How do I get
so
this
what you do?
thing
Here,
over?
open that up there. push it down.
Richard!
Okay. Put the other one in. Now, draw the film out just a little bit further, just a touch more.
A couple of inches, or a couple of...
Just a centimeter.
Most of the time.
I know.
John Turner.
You're not ready to see.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Trish! Trish!
Now what? It's going to go back to 1. So that's okay then.
Okay, hold on.
I do want to see you. All right.
Got it. Got it. Okay, we're working together.
Matthew Pro. Oh, man. Ben Carroll. Such a small package. Merry Christmas, Ben. Shauna. Run!
Who's that?
Wayne! Debbie Province! Oh, yeah. All right. I'll see what I can do. Chuck! Mark! Dom! Go over the camera. There you go, Dom.
I got him with a camera.
Kathy! Chuck!
Good.
Where's the seat?
Dan, just take that basket. Thank you.
You're welcome, Kathy. Merry Christmas. Glenn! Right back. Brian! You been a good boy? You get this anyway. Don't you? Dan! Stand the man!
Hold me here, you gotta take that camera.
Are you gonna give him a kiss?
I want to Oh, he's good.
You better whisper it while you're here. Yeah. How tall? How tall? How tall? How tall hair? Didn't mention his hair. Didn't have to have hair.
No, you don't have that.
Long legs. Linda. Bird. One of my favorite Lindas. How are you, Linda? There you go, sweetheart. Tim! Tim! There you go. Michael Lynch.
Oh my God.
Alice. Carl and Barry. Carl and
Take your glasses off, Carl. You hear the story? They said they were questioning when you're going to get married. And they said, oh, yes, well, actually, sorry.
River. River's not here. Linda Slater.
Oh, here's Steve.
Take care.
That's fine, yeah.
We made sure there's something for everybody.
Walter.
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 Here he comes. Where's Walter?
Accepting for Walter.
Where's Walter?
Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer's the big one. American. You're welcome. Dan McDonnell. Accepting on behalf of Dan, Carolyn.
I hope we didn't miss anybody. Thanks, Santa.
Hey! I never heard Claire.
See you in 5 months.
That was well done.
Hey, listen, that's a good cane. How much does this cane cost?
500 bucks.
Who lost their bear?
You're such an ass. I mean, I'm impressed.
What did you think? It was 125?
I like the thing with the zoom thing.
Yeah.
Every year I think we'll actually get this over sooner, but there's so many of us and there's so much stuff to do that it just seems to, we need more than 3 days to do it in.
I got a coffee cup and I got a
I suppose it's inevitable at some time that I would combine Christmas and the family reunion because they really are my 2 favorite times of the year. And in addition to all of the wonderful things that Mark said about Christmas in terms of helping and sharing, for me one of the things that makes those occasions special is the anticipation. And no matter how many times I celebrate Christmas or how many reunions we have, I still have the same sense of excitement, looking forward to it year after year, and that makes it a very special occasion for me. And I hope that you all share that with me. The other thing about Christmas is I've never really had any problem reconciling the two parts of it, whether it's a celebration of the birth of Jesus or if you consider it in terms of Santa Claus. I never had any problem reconciling those two viewpoints. Both of those, baby Jesus and Santa, epitomize goodness and warmth and love, and I don't see that there's any problem holding a spiritual side and then having a lot of fun at it too. So that makes Christmas very special. Christmas and families naturally go together anyway. If you consider that Christmas really is a celebration of the birth of a baby, by some definitions, the birth of a baby is essential to what makes a family. Two people is a couple. You add a third and that becomes a family. There's no question that having a baby means change. And one of the things that changes is that the couple, not only is a couple, they become parents. And so I thought that maybe this year we would honor parents, because if we didn't have a mother and father, none of us would be here, and they, arguably are the most two important people in our lives. When you think about a family, you think about relationships, and there are many different kinds of relationships. Almost you consider a horizontal relationship between cousins and the way we interact. If you consider maybe a diagonal relationship, aunts and uncles versus nephews and nieces, and then that vertical relationship, which is parents and children. And over the years I've had occasion to think about my parents and growing up with my parents and what it was about that relationship that made it so special. And I could never quite put my finger on it. If you think about parents in terms of how they're depicted on TV, nothing ever seems to fit. I can't ever remember Dad wondering how we were doing in school, or Mother worrying that we weren't eating properly. And I want to give you an example of a typical parent-child conversation, which I heard this morning. Sean, wash your face. No. Sean, wash your face now. No. The tone getting a little louder, but because there were witnesses, it wasn't. I said, wash your face! So it went, Sean, I really would like you to wash your face. I'll do it later. That's what it was like for me growing up, and I think for many of you too. So what gives? There's no Bill Cosby's or Brady Bunches here. I read in a newspaper article actually quite a while ago, and I've always remembered it. And I'm not a parent myself. And to me, it kind of defined what the relationship was with my parents. And it said, in part, to be a good parent, it's not enough that you simply love one's children. If that was all that was involved, the job would just be too easy. And it's not enough that you be your children's friend. Children don't need friends. They have friends in spades. What's important is for parents to be authority figures. They're the ones we turn to learn what's right and what's wrong. They're the ones who set limits for us. And they're the ones who tell us how far we can go. And after doing all that, a good parent has to learn to then step aside and watch from the sidelines. And I think without question for myself, and I would bet for my aunts and uncles and the relationships they had with my cousins, it was that kind of authority that they had that made us respect them. For they exercised their authority with fairness, even-handedness, good humor. And when you learn to respect someone, you get along. I've said it before, and it's so true. Our dear Aunt Eleanor said that the reason this family got along so well together is because they respected each other. It doesn't matter that we have differing opinions. If I can quote from another famous TV family, not everybody's cup of tea, Homer Simpson. Our differences may be skin deep, but our sames go right to the bone. And so we may superficially disagree with each other, but deep down below all that, we know where we've all come from, and we respect each other for it. And so when I think of authority and respect for authority, I think of my parents. And I think that learning to respect one another is one of those lessons of life that our parents taught us that we didn't even know we were learning. And even at my advancing years, I stop and think sometimes that when my mother tells me something, I should listen. Because she really does know best. So all you younger people, I want to remind you that when your parents speak with the voice of authority, that you should pay attention. Because I can guarantee you, when you set out on your own, you'll be grateful that for the first few miles of the road ahead of you, you'll be grateful that they took the time to put the guardrails in place that will keep you from falling off the edge. And so today, let's celebrate our parents. Really are one of the most important things in our lives, and hopefully will continue to be. As Uncle Ben said, may the reunion go on forever and ever, and he can guarantee that the elders will be here in their wheelchairs and their walkers, even if we have to rent handy darts. And it will be up to us as the younger generation to see that we're here and we're supporting them all the way. So that's the talk for this evening.
Wonderful.
So in celebrating parents, I'm going to award our Hanley Cup today to two special parents, and this is a very difficult choice. To be a parent, and again, it's an experience I don't have, is the most demanding, frustrating, time-consuming, and yet most important job in the world. And it's, with all of that frustration, I don't think it's a job any parent would ever give up. To qualify for the Hanley Cup, what's needed? Attitude. Come and be with us. Show that the family is important to you, that the tradition should continue. I think hard about who I'm giving the cup to, and sometimes I change my mind depending on what happens. And my choice today, a very special couple who have been with us, a gang, from the beginning. But not every year. They moved to Ontario. But they were always with us in spirit. And I'm very pleased to award the cup to them this year, particularly for most of us, we're extremely lucky. The family has stayed in one small area. That's something that doesn't happen very often. For us really to be located in an area where we can all come together so easily. But their three boys live in Ontario and they've moved to Richmond, but the boys are all here today. So I want to give a special Hanley thank you and a welcome and an awarding of a cup this year to Jim and Chris Lynch.
You want to get a picture of that friend?
Thanks very much.
Jim, look this way.
One over here.
Oh, okay.
Closer.
How's that?
A little bit closer.
Oh, no.
We want a 3D effect here.
And it's to Jan and Kathleen. I thought this year's Christmas theme would be an appropriate year to give you both a small token of our thanks and appreciation. With age, hopefully, comes a small measure, you've made me too damn emotional, of wisdom, and I have come to realize just how important all of your hard work is. I'm sure the seniors, the women of course, realize that this weekend doesn't just happen. It takes planning and a lot of work. In this day and age, to be able to get together as a family and celebrate being together is a precious gift. It's something you both, with help from ours, have wholeheartedly taken on yourselves and given that gift of love to everyone in your family. A sense of belonging is so important for us and even more important for our children. It's almost an outdated notion today, but at the very heart of raising undamaged kids in today's world. To always know that you belong to the family is becoming more important as time moves on. As teenagers, our poor parents had to drag us to family affairs, moaning and groaning. But now we owe them a debt of gratitude for not just letting it all go. I would like to say thanks to them for making the effort when it was probably the last thing that they really wanted to do. But they kept it together, and you two picked up the gauntlet and ran with it. I think Auntie Eleanor and Uncle Lloyd will just pull up a chair in a quiet corner and smile, because they always knew. Big Uncle Earl will be watching and possibly arguing with Eleanor and Lloyd. But I think Eleanor will win. I'll never forget how welcome Uncle Earl made me feel when I came back into the family. And that big heart is with us still. That was his gift. How lucky we are to be able to say that we have 24 years of memories as a family, good or bad, that love has always been there, and because of you two, we'll continue. Thanks so much. From Paula.
You want a picture of that? Sure. Like, get it?
Sure. You have to walk over there.
I think I do.
No, we don't just do this for the gifts.
About time you got some gifts
You gotta
instead
put
of
those
giving
on your
them.
head. Each of you have to wear them on your head.
Thank you.
Glad that Paula thought it was